This is the Satanic leaf-tailed gecko. As their name suggests, their tails look just like a dried leaf. And this is a larval fish, so transparent that when you place it on a piece of paper, you can see the lines right through it. These strange creatures all have one thing in common. They can become invisible whenever they want. You heard that right, this crafty camouflage helps them survive and avoid becoming a tasty snack for other predators. But how can a leaf-tailed gecko turn into a leaf with not just the perfect color, but also an incredibly realistic texture? To find out, let's explore the top 10 most bizarre invisible animals in the world. They are only found in certain regions. Now, let's get started. Some might think I'm being silly for including them on this list, as they appear quite conspicuous and bulky, standing out against any grassland, making them easy prey for wolves, leopards, or lions. But don't underestimate their camouflage abilities just yet. Take a look at the black and white stripes on their backs. Oh, that looks simple, right? But what about this? Be careful. If you stare at it too long, you might fall off your chair. Why? Because the zebra's black and white stripes create a collective optical illusion that can dizzy their predators. They disrupt the brain's ability to estimate speed and direction, while acting as a perfect barrier that helps these animals blend into the grasslands. When an entire herd moves, the interwoven stripes create a motion illusion, causing even formidable predators like lions and hyenas to hesitate before attacking, lest they get trampled. Furthermore, researchers have noted that even horseflies and mosquitoes find it difficult to land on the striped surface because the contrast between light and dark disrupts their vision. Beyond their defensive mechanisms, zebras live in family groups consisting of a dominant male, several females, and their offspring. Other species, such as the Grevy's zebra, often live in smaller, separate groups consisting of mares and foals. Not only that, but they are also masters of endurance and are incredibly agile, capable of reaching speeds of up to 65 kilometers per hour, nearly double the speed of Olympic athlete Usain Bolt. Every year, hundreds of thousands of zebras migrate across southern and eastern Africa in search of water and pasture. The scientific name Kallima inachus, the dead leaf butterfly, is a species known for evading predators through incredibly bizarre forms of camouflage. When in flight, the butterfly reveals the vibrant colors on the upper side of its wings, but the moment it lands and closes them, it instantly transforms into a dark brown withered leaf. It doesn't stop there. The brilliance of this creature's camouflage lies in the fact that it doesn't just mimic the color of a dead leaf, it perfectly replicates the shape, the leaf stalk, and even the intricate vein patterns of a real leaf. If you look closely at these two photos, you can clearly see the variations in the butterfly's wing patterns, which adapt specifically to the wet and dry seasons. It becomes nearly impossible to distinguish whether it is a real leaf or not. This clever disguise helps them avoid being eaten by birds, ants, spiders, and wasps. Dead leaf butterflies typically inhabit the tropical regions of Asia, ranging from India to Japan. Additionally, you can find them across Southeast Asia, including Laos, Taiwan, Vietnam, and Thailand. The dead leaf butterfly isn't the only one with this special ability. Another butterfly species also possesses an incredibly creative trick. If the dead leaf butterfly's camouflage resembles its name, the buff-tip moth looks exactly like a piece of wood. This small, soft face belongs to the buff-tip moth. Naturalists discovered it during a recent expedition to the secret canyon near Montenegro. The adult moth camouflages itself as a birch twig so convincingly that even experienced researchers can overlook it. Take a close look at this moth. When at rest, its wings are folded tightly along its body, with the pale yellow head and tail tip creating an appearance indistinguishable from a piece of broken bark or a small twig. Thanks to this characteristic, when faced with danger, it can easily deceive the eyes of its predators. In contrast, their caterpillars feature bold stripes and are often found feeding in groups on hazel, birch, and oak trees. It is quite a contrast to their stealthy adult form. Buff-tip moths are commonly found in Asia. They prefer living in forests and dense wooded areas. As their name implies, they are nocturnal creatures. The primary diet of the adult moth is nectar, while in the caterpillar stage, they feed on various leaves to grow. This is not a single type of fish. Leptocephalus is the term used to describe the larvae of certain eel-like species. They have laterally flattened bodies filled with a transparent jelly-like substance, and a thin layer of muscle with visible striated muscles on the exterior. Their internal organs are small, and their digestive tract consists of a simple, single tube. Leptocephalus larvae have dorsal and anal fins fused with the tail fin, but they lack pelvic fins. All these features make them transparent throughout their larval stage, or more accurately, until they mature into adult eels. On average, the larval period lasts from about 3 months to over a year. They move with the typical sinuous motion of an eel and are capable of swimming both forward and backward. The diet of a Leptocephalus is difficult to determine. As they are planktonic, the typical food sources for fish larvae are rarely found in their gut. However, some studies suggest that Leptocephalus appear to prefer feeding on small particles floating in the ocean, commonly known as marine snow. Their primary habitat is the top 100 meters of the ocean at night, often drifting slightly deeper during the day. They are distributed globally, ranging from southern temperate latitudes to the tropical waters where adult eels and their close relatives reside. After months or years of drifting at sea, the larvae undergo a dramatic metamorphosis, transitioning into the glass eel stage as they approach the continental shelf. Their bodies change from a leaf-like flattened shape to a cylindrical one, though they remain transparent. These young eels are highly vulnerable and rely on their transparency as camouflage as they enter coastal waters and estuaries. The final stage of their evolution is becoming an elver, at which point they begin to develop pigmentation upon entering brackish or fresh water. As elvers develop this pigment, they lose their glass-like transparency and become miniature versions of adult eels, typically measuring 3 to 4 inches in length. The existence of these distinct stages is directly linked to the specific breeding and migratory patterns of eels. For Atlantic eels, this journey begins in the Sargasso Sea, a vast, calm region of the North Atlantic surrounded by ocean currents. Adult eels, known as silver eels, migrate thousands of miles from freshwater habitats in North America and Europe to this remote area to spawn and die. After the eggs hatch, the Leptocephalus larvae are carried by major ocean currents, such as the Gulf Stream, toward the coasts of North America and Europe. This oceanic drift can span 4,000 to 6,000 miles, serving as a passive journey that lasts anywhere from 1 to 3 years, depending on the species. The Leafy Seadragon is found along the southern and western coasts of Australia. True to its name, this creature possesses appendages that resemble leafy foliage covering its body, which serve purely as camouflage. They move using a pair of pectoral fins on the sides of their necks and a dorsal fin near the tail. These small, almost transparent fins are difficult to spot as they ripple gently, allowing the fish to move slowly through the water and deceive predators into thinking it is merely a drifting clump of seaweed. Additionally, it can change color to blend into its surroundings, though this ability depends on the sea dragon's diet, age, location, and stress levels. Though not large, the Leafy Seadragon, much like most seahorse species, reaches an average length of about 20 to 24 centimeters, 8 to 9.5 inches. Their favorite food consists of plankton and small crustaceans. Their primary habitat is over sand patches in waters up to 50 meters deep, around kelp-covered rocks and seagrass beds, which provide an ideal environment for hiding. Leafy sea dragons are generally solitary. When mating season arrives, the male courts the female and they pair up to reproduce. After mating, in a behavior similar to seahorses, the male Leafy Seadragon takes on all the responsibilities, becoming a devoted father. The female deposits up to 250 bright pink eggs onto the male's tail using a long tube called an ovipositor. The eggs then attach to a brood patch, which provides them with oxygen. Depending on water conditions, the eggs begin to hatch after about 9 weeks. During this time, the eggs turn a deep purple or orange. The male then pumps his tail until the young emerge, a process that takes place over 24 to 48 hours. The male assists the hatching process by shaking his tail and rubbing it against seaweed and rocks. Once born, the young sea dragons are completely independent, feeding on tiny plankton until they are large enough to hunt mysid shrimp. Only about 5% of the eggs survive. Each newly hatched sea dragon begins life with a small yolk sac attached to its exterior. This sac provides them with nutrients for the first few days of life. Despite this initial source of nutrition, the majority of the fry instinctively learn to hunt prey as soon as they hatch and become independent before their nutrient sac disappears. Meet the Gaboon Viper, the largest viper species in Africa. The average length of an adult can reach 1.5 meters, with some individuals growing up to 2 meters. Weighing as much as 10 kilograms, it is known as one of the heaviest venomous snakes in the world, but the most terrifying aspect lies hidden beneath layers of dry leaves. The Gaboon Viper has a large triangular head, 3 times the width of its neck, which houses massive venom glands. Between its nostrils, it sports a pair of small, rhino-like horns, making it easily identifiable. Its large, flexible eyes feature pupils that dilate rapidly, surrounded by 15 to 21 circumorbital scales. Its fangs, reaching up to 5 centimeters in length, allow it to inject venom deep directly into muscle tissue or blood vessels, causing severe necrosis, internal hemorrhaging, rapid hypotension, and heart failure in a very short amount of time. Remarkably, the skin of a Gaboon Viper is a geometric masterpiece of nature. It is covered in symmetric diamond and triangular patterns in shades of grayish-brown, straw yellow, pale purple, and dark brown. When this snake lies among decaying leaves on the forest floor, the contrasting color blocks on its back completely break up the outline of its body. This visual effect is so deceptive that even if a human looks directly at the spot where the snake is lying from a distance of just 1 meter, they usually see nothing more than a pile of flat, dry leaves. The Gaboon Viper is a passive ambush predator, waiting for prey such as small mammals, birds, or amphibians to pass by. Unlike other venomous snakes that strike and release, it clings to its victim until it dies, injecting a massive dose of venom. Research shows that a bite from a Gaboon Viper is an extremely swift death sentence for a human without antivenom. It possesses the largest venom glands and secretes more venom per bite than any other snake, averaging 450 to 600 milligrams, with a maximum of up to 2,400 milligrams of raw venom. Meanwhile, only about 90 to 100 milligrams of its venom is enough to take the life of an adult human. A single bite can contain enough toxin to take down 6 people at once. Despite this danger, the number of recorded annual fatalities caused by Gaboon Vipers globally is negligible. The reason lies in the strange temperament of this creature. The Gaboon Viper is famous for being one of the most docile and lethargic snakes in the world. It does not exhibit the aggressive, proactive striking behavior of a cobra or a black mamba. When someone passes by, its first reaction is to remain absolutely motionless, relying on its ultimate camouflage among the leaves. They typically only strike when accidentally stepped upon, or if they are intentionally provoked or handled. Furthermore, their habitat is isolated. They mainly live deep within tropical rainforests and wild savannas in sub-Saharan Africa, areas with sparse human populations, resulting in far fewer direct encounters with humans compared to vipers found in the fields of Southeast Asia or India. Much like the Gaboon Viper, the next creature we will look at is incredibly gentle, but thanks to its perfect invisibility and lethal venom, it is considered one of the most dangerous organisms in the ocean. Within the Indian and Pacific Oceans, there exists an incredibly rich and complex ecosystem where the beauty is truly mesmerizing. However, the struggle for survival here is equally fierce, forcing every organism to constantly evolve to earn its right to exist. Among them, many species rely on speed for hunting, while others have developed powerful jaws or lethal venom to dominate. Yet, there is one creature that takes a completely different approach: the stonefish. It possesses the power of deadly venom, but chooses to remain hidden. The stonefish is ranked among the most venomous fish species and is dubbed the Lord of Venom on the ocean floor because of the highly toxic spines along its dorsal fin. However, these are never used for proactive attacks. They are only triggered when the fish feels threatened. This creature has a rugged, unattractive appearance with a hard exterior, and its coloring closely resembles dead coral reefs, allowing it to evade enemies and easily ambush its prey. They prefer to feed on small fish and crustaceans. They often wait for prey to swim by before striking with lightning speed. Yet, even with these defenses, they are not always protected from natural predators, such as large sharks, sea snakes, and humans. If it crawls onto a mango leaf, this caterpillar seems to activate 100% stealth mode. The vein running along its back perfectly matches the central vein of the leaf in both color and thickness, while the spiky branches on its sides fan out and blend seamlessly into the leaf surface. It would be nearly impossible for anyone to spot it with just a casual glance. They are born from the eggs of the barren butterfly, often mistakenly referred to as a spider in some contexts, which are typically laid on leaves. The eggs are small, oval-shaped, shaped and possess protective colors that help them camouflage with their surroundings to avoid predators. Upon hatching, the barren caterpillar larvae take on their characteristic form, a long, soft body whose primary function is to eat and grow. Their colors vary, usually featuring patterns that aid in camouflage. During the pupal stage, the insect undergoes a transformation inside a chrysalis attached to a substrate. It remains immobile and often exhibits camouflage coloration. Extensive restructuring occurs inside as tissues form the structures of the adult. Once it emerges from the pupa, the development is marked by the appearance of wings and functional reproductive organs. The body is now fully formed and hardened, and the adult can move freely, focusing its energy on reproduction. When fully grown, the barren caterpillar reaches an average size of 7 to 8 centimeters. They are native to Sri Lanka, India, and Southeast Asia. Hailing from the island of Madagascar, this gecko leaves humans in awe of the meticulous work of evolution. Its body is not only the brownish-gray color of decaying wood, but its tail is shaped like a tattered, withered leaf, complete with veins and even patches of fake mold on its skin. If they remain still, you absolutely cannot distinguish between a real piece of rotting leaf and the living creature. They are the Satanic leaf-tailed geckos. As nocturnal reptiles with large, well-adapted eyes, they move through their rainforest habitat at night to hunt for insects. Adhesive scales under their fingers and toes, combined with strong curved claws, allow them to navigate trees with great dexterity. Leaf-tailed geckos are quite skilled at avoiding predators, not only thanks to their incredible mimicry, but also through specific behaviors. They can flatten their bodies against the ground to reduce their shadow, open their jaws wide to reveal a frighteningly bright red mouth, and even voluntarily shed their tails to distract predators. Like many reptiles, leaf-tailed geckos are egg layers. The reproductive process begins at the start of the rainy season, when they lay clutches of 2 spherical eggs on the ground under layers of leaf litter or on dead leaves. It is believed that they are highly sensitive to environmental changes, meaning they are heavily dependent on healthy forests for survival. Unfortunately, habitat destruction, deforestation, and collection for the pet trade have become major threats to the survival of this species. Currently, there are 3 protected areas where this gecko can be found: Marojejy National Park, Saratanana Strict Nature Reserve, and Anjanaharibe Sud Special Reserve. Despite their elite camouflage capabilities, the Satanic leaf-tailed gecko is still not the most remarkable creature on this list.
Unlike other species that simply stay still and change color, the mimic octopus possesses superior intelligence that allows it to play the role of other animals. Depending on the predator it faces, it can tuck away its tentacles and contort its body to impersonate a venomous sea snake, a flatfish, a jellyfish, or even a moving coral reef. Like other octopuses, it uses pigments for camouflage. The mimic octopus is small, with an average length of about 60 centimeters, including its tentacles, and a body diameter approximately the width of a pencil at its thickest point. Small horns protrude from above each eye. Its natural coloring is light brown, beige, but it often adopts bold white and brown stripes to ward off predators by mimicking venomous species. According to some studies, its secondary form involves the simultaneous extension of its long tentacles and the ability to swim like a flatfish. By combining these features, the octopus transforms into a striking color pattern while swimming like a flatfish when hunting or resting. Moreover, the mimic octopus is highly intelligent and capable of imitating many different animals. For instance, when imitating a lionfish, it spreads its tentacles out radially to mimic the fish's spines. For a sea snake, it hides 6 tentacles and holds the remaining 2 parallel to each other. It mimics a jellyfish by puffing up its mantle and dragging its tentacles behind. And when imitating a sole, it keeps all 8 tentacles trailing behind while using its siphon to swim. While the mimic octopus maintains its ability to camouflage with its surroundings while swimming, it can do so even when stationary. Its ability to mimic other species is controlled with remarkable flexibility. Although colorblind, its body is quite reflective, which allows it to blend into its surroundings, such as sand, coral, rocks, and algae.